fan of the Hauraki Big Show podcast? Make sure you check out more from Jase, Mike and Keyzie on their Instagram at Hauraki Big Show, or tune in to them 4 to 7 every weekday on Radio Hauraki. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, mate. Had a fascinating... G'day, Keyzie.
Hi, Jase.
God, you're looking good, mate.
Really? Oh, no, don't.
What?
Is this going to be one of those be nice to Keyzie days?
No, I'm just making an observation. Have you had a haircut?
I had a haircut today.
Thank you.
And it looks all right?
Looks so good, man. I reckon it's the best one you've had yet.
I think it is too.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's
Yeah.
looking good. And your mo's looking good too, man.
See, now I know you're full of shit.
What?
You've never said I've had a good mow. You always say it's patchy.
No, it's looking as lush as I've ever seen it, man.
Thanks, mate.
Good on you. Kia kaha.
Don't. Ever since you guys made me feel bad the other day about how I shampoo my hair too often. And then Mike was like, do you wash your mow? And I was like, not really.
Yeah.
And you guys were shocked by that. So I've been really getting in there with my face wash and making sure to,
Yeah.
I think it's working.
Well, I think that's what it is. I think it's just looking more lush than it normally does.
Thanks, man.
It's really pinging off your face.
Cool. I feel like we're straying away from compliment now.
But no, seriously, it's good. You're looking great. What's that jacket? This Chevrolet.
Yeah,
awesome.
just my Chevrolet jacket. Yeah.
I wish I had one of those jackets.
Yeah.
I'd be really cool amongst all the kids there.
Well, if you can name me a type of Chevrolet.
It's more a case of how many can I name you, Keyzie?
Just one. One's fine.
Yeah, for sure.
Surely a Corvette. Easy, right there.
It's fascinating. I don't know if I just had the most fascinating conversation with Pugs before we went on air before.
Oh, right.
Telling me about his various run-ins with sex workers.
Oh, yeah, he has those all the time.
Which is weird. But you know how I talk about the fact that, well, you've seen it, how I get approached by kind of weird people all the time.
Yeah.
And I think Pugs has that kind of face that he gets approached by sex workers all the time, he was saying.
Well, he's got that face and that reputation as well. And he's told a lot of these stories where he's just minding his own business and a sex worker comes up to him.
Yeah.
But he's also always in the spots, you know what I mean? Where the sex workers are.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in a dark alley in K Road,
Yeah.
Just sitting in your car for like 20 minutes, I mean,
Yeah.
And it's a early Friday morning, 1 a.m., and then the chances are...
And he had a fanny pack full of $20 notes as well, ready to go.
Yeah, totally, which he was just sort of playing with.
Yeah.
And I think you're sort of asking for trouble in that kind of scenario. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Are you excited to go down to Christchurch?
Via Jetstar.
Is it really that big of a deal for you? So for those listening who... Basically, we've booked tickets because we're going to Christchurch.
No, we haven't.
Well, no, I think we use a travel agent. There's a business travel agent that books for us. And for some reason, they've booked me on Air New Zealand, me and Kate, and then you, Minogue, Pugs, Jesse, and everyone else are all on Jetstar.
Yeah.
What, Pugs? So some people are on Air New Zealand one way and Jetstar back.
I think Mogie's going down Air New Zealand on the way down.
So he's on my flight.
Yeah, so I think it's essentially me and Pugs and Jesse that are on Jetstar. Because it was weird, because I was sitting at home today going, I haven't got my Air New Zealand flights yet. So I checked my app, and so I checked it, and it was Jetstar. And I was like, well, surely that can't be right.
Like so many people are anti-Jetstar, but I have caught it so many times. The amount of times I have to go down to Christchurch, it's like once every month or so to hang out with the in-laws and that.
Which you hate, you were saying off
No,
here.
I wasn't saying, no. Love the in-laws so much. But I've flown Jetstar and literally never been delayed more than 15 minutes.
I flew Jetstar once and was delayed for 4 hours.
But you're one of those people who that stuff happens to, though.
Yeah, totally, man.
Yeah, see, that doesn't happen to me.
But what really pissed me off about it is that they'd go, okay, your flight's delayed by an hour.
Right.
Okay.
Annoying.
And so you'd wait for an hour, and about, 5 minutes towards the end, there's 5 minutes to go in the hour, you go, okay, we must be boarding soon. And then they said, your flight's been delayed for another hour. So you have that and they did that for 4 hours.
Really?
So you have that anticipation of going, okay, well, it's just an hour. I'll be flying soon.
Yeah.
And then they get to the hour and go, oh, sorry, it's another hour.
Far out. See, the only...
And weirdly enough, Keyzie, the only time I flew Jetstar, while I was waiting in that delay, I got approached by a sex worker.
Really?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. In the terminal or something?
Yeah, just in the terminal there.
Wow, okay.
Because I was counting my cash, and she came up to me and asked if I was...
If you were keen.
Yeah, if I was keen, and...
And you were? Actually, the weirdest experience I've had with Jetstar was, and it didn't end up happening, but I was flying down to Dunedin.
You got approached by a sex worker?
Nah, it wasn't anything that weird. Halfway down to Dunedin.
Have you ever been approached by a sex worker, Keyzie?
Yeah, one time, all right? One time, and I was approached.
When Pugs was describing his story to us, you seem to know all the ins and outs there.
It's because I lived...
I'll rephrase that.
Yeah, I knew.
You seem to know what to do and what not to do.
Well, I knew what to do and what not to do because where he was, what is it called? Where he was...
Located.
Where he was soliciting.
Yes. K Road.
K was just off K Road. I lived there for a year in an apartment. So he was probably 50 metres away from my old apartment, and I am very familiar with what goes on outside there.
Well, here's the weird thing.
Right.
Like, when I was approached by the sex worker
at Jetstar,
and I said, "Oh, no, sorry, I'm married, not interested in stuff." And then she said, "Eddie, it's Hoity J, isn't it?" And I went, "Yes." And she went, "How's old Keyzie?"
Oh, did she say that?
Yeah.
Really?
And I haven't seen him for ages and stuff.
Yeah, well, that'll be because I used to walk past her on my way to work.
Right, okay.
Yeah,
you know her, do you?
Maybe. Who was it? Was it Miranda?
No, it was Clarissa, I think.
Clarissa, yeah. She's a bloody gossip hole, Clarissa. Yeah,
totally.
So that must have been quite a while ago then that this happened.
Nah.
Yeah, it must have been like, a decade ago.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jason Hoyt, Mike Minogue, and Keyzie. The Hauraki Big Show, weekdays at 4 on Radio Hauraki.
The weirdest thing that happened to me on a Jetstar flight, though, on my way down to Dunedin, because my wife used to live there.
My wife.
Jase. And we were almost there, and there was a storm, and they were like, hey, we can't land in Dunedin, so we're going to keep going to Invercargill and land there for the night. It's just like, okay, cool, I'm down here for one weekend because we're doing long distance, and then I fly out after 48 hours, and I have to spend the night in Invercargill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And guess what? Didn't end up happening. It was sweet as.
Yeah.
So good.
It was so weird because I got diverted once to Invercargill, but this was on Air New Zealand.
If you say there's a sex worker in Invercargill, carry on.
Well, you've ruined my story now, Keyzie.
I'm so pretty. I got to Invercargill, and then there was a sex worker there. I was like, how's Keyzie?
Yeah, no. She didn't actually. That one, I did get approached by a sex worker in Invercargill, but she didn't ask about you. She just asked if I was keen.
Yeah.
And I wasn't. That's not to say, that I have anything against sex workers at all.
Have you ever slept with a sex worker, Jase?
I can honestly say, hand on heart, no.
That's not your heart.
Oh.
Neither have I, actually. We should get Pugs in here to find out what it's like.
Yeah.
I feel like it's something that, a lot of people have done,
Pugs,
I'm sure.
can you come in here, please? We've got some questions.
So,
just to let people know, by the way, because they're going, where's Mogi?
Oh, yeah.
We haven't actually addressed that at all. He went over to Aussie, of course, over the weekend, and I don't think he's back yet.
Well, he's there for the Warriors.
If he's ever going to get back.
Yeah, there for the Warriors, the UFC, his brother's 50th, so he asked for a day off, and it's fair enough. Pugs, so
yeah.
When you're a John, right?
Huh?
You're a John.
No, I'm James.
But it's called a John, right? A client.
Is it?
Is it?
You're a John. That's what I'm getting from CSI in that.
What, like a John Doe?
No, they just say, you're a... So I think there's like...
I would have thought it would be something like Ricky. You're a Ricky.
No, it's just like a saying like, so she's with a John at the moment. It's just what they call everyone that's a customer or a client or whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like what you're talking about, and I don't have knowledge on this, may be more towards like actual establishments for this kind of thing.
No.
I mean,
no, so the stuff you're into, the K Road stuff.
The stuff we were just talking about before, Pugs. And, I mean, I find it baffling that you say you're not, into it. That's not the impression I got when I was chatting to you. It sounded like you were totally into it.
Yeah, well, I'm not 100% on what kind of gives off the impression, but
it's that massive ragey you walk around with.
Yeah. It's your half mongrel.
On K Road on Friday night.
Yeah, with your fanny pack full of dollar bills.
I wish I had enough money to carry around dollar bills.
So how long have you been doing that for?
What? Seeing
Because
sex
it's every
workers?
Friday.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
every Friday.
Is there? Do you have like a regular sort of time slot where it's sort of happening, like Friday night 1 a.m. type thing?
If I'm going off last Friday night, there wasn't a specific time.
Oh, okay. You just had a few beersies, just sort of
Felt lonely.
felt a bit lonely.
And so, because I think the way Pugs does it is it's more of a like, because he's got a lot of their numbers in his phone. So he'll be like, hey, what time are you around tonight? And they'll be like, oh, this time. And they'll be like, cool, I'll be there. I'll be the guy in the fanny pack.
With
the
the fanny
rage.
pack. Yeah. Yeah.
Is that right,
how
Pugs?
it works,
I don't know what you're
Pugs?
talking about. They don't need. They know what I look like.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So do you like? So are you in your car or are you standing on a corner?
Friday,
or?
I was in my car.
Yeah, so you chose car for Friday.
Yeah. Do you do anything with your lights or anything like that to let them know that you're there?
What happened on Friday, I literally drove down the side street on K Road, parked up in this public car park, and then I was approached.
Just waited.
Because the Pugs was telling me the way he does it is he puts his hazards on,
Oh,
toots the horn and flashes the lights at them.
Yeah.
hard out.
and then flashes out the window as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
What, you flash out the window?
Yeah, and my hazards.
Right.
So the whole thing.
What
it's
are you flashing out the window?
My dollar bills.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
My fanny pack.
Yeah, his fanny
Yeah.
pack hanging out the. Yeah.
So
okay.
your fanny pack's hanging out the window.
Yeah.
And then the one that you were with on Friday night, what was their name?
Didn't get a name.
Wow, that's
that's-
Jesus.
yeah.
No time for names.
Oh, that's callous.
I reckon, eh?
You strike me as such a nice guy. I mean,
Real transactional. That's just
isn't
like
it? Isn't it? That's awful. I mean, come on, man.
It was.
We're all human beings here.
I think in that situation, I wasn't made to feel super comfortable.
You were a
And so
maid.
huh?
You were a
Oh,
maid.
like a French maid.
I wasn't made to feel super comfortable, so I didn't get a name off this person.
Right,
that
okay.
approached me in my vehicle unwillingly.
Right.
But
Unsolicited.
hadn't you already texted them though?
No. He hadn't. He Snapchats them.
Oh,
Yeah,
Snapchat, is it?
Because that way they disappear and no one knows about it.
Oh,
Pugs was
okay.
saying that's crucial.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he's invited me out several times to join him. I haven't taken him up on it yet, but I might do.
Well,
Yeah.
What
Well,
I was,
mean, that's fair enough.
I was on the way to a gig on Friday night. Sort of makes a night of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So gig.
No,
Then-
this was on the way to the gig.
Wow.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
man's got
parking up, I
advertised.
was parking up to go to the gig at Whammy Bar.
This is pre-whammy bar.
Yeah.
It's a bar called Whammy Bar.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
It's normal.
So
It's
this is,
what Pugs calls his downstairs.
is this your pre-gig routine there, Pugs?
It seemed to happen pre-gig. I don't know.
Pre-gig routine. What?
Right.
Far out. It's just interesting when you get a glimpse.
Totally.
inside.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, it was
I would. Yeah. I'm.
something.
I. And absolutely each to their own is
Yeah,
my thing.
totally.
And
Different strokes for different folks.
I appreciate your honesty, Pugs.
Hey,
and and
anytime, man.
good on you, man. You
Yeah.
know, we're all in this together, mate.
Good on you, mate. What a backbone.
Can I?
What?
Sorry.
No, you go.
Wanna do a shout out?
I was going to ask for a gig.
Kia kaha.
Thanks, man.
Your Hauraki Big Show Keyzie word of the day is
Appetite.
Oh.
Sure. Hey, do we have a winner today?
Yep. We'll call them after 6 o'clock like we forgot to do last week.
Oh, I'll see how I feel.
Yeah, okay. But hey, send all the Keyzie words in at the end of the week, over the weekend there with your cell phone number. You could win a sweet prize pack, which probably involves a packet of the new Heartland Hauraki chips with backbone,
Sure.
I'm assuming, just because
I'll
there's...
chuck. I'll
you'd
chuck
think
them in
you
there.
got to chuck a couple of packets in there,
Yeah,
surely.
yeah.
Just because there's
Chuck a bloody box in
thousand,
there.
there's
Yeah.
1,000 boxes out there. It's quite overwhelming.
Yeah, it is overwhelming, and it's like for me, it's an issue.
It is.
It's a massive issue.
Bit of a
Bugs.
trigger for you,
You're
eh?
a massive trigger.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
Also, you'll get a backbone t-shirt and some other goodies as well, so get stuck into it. Also, follow us on Instagram, Hauraki Big Show, Chris Key NZ, Hoity J, and Call Me Pugs as well.
I do not solicit sex work.
Thanks, mate.